Right everyone, welcome back to another episode of the F124 Game News video. Today we're going to be going through the career mode deep dive video. But first, the title of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we need to go to Twitter. Because, as you can see on screen, Codemasters don't plan to use a new engine, whether that's Unreal or Frostbite engine, for the foreseeable future for F1. There is no requirement. Lee Mather, who spoke to Overtake this week on an article that is being taken down, funny enough, because it makes EA and Codemasters look bad. There is no requirement or need for us to make that move. There is no significant gain that we need in F1. We're going to continue to build on it. And there's further quotes down here about it's bespoke for the game. They want they basically want the flexibility to do all this. But as far as I'm concerned, they haven't really done anything with it. Like, the game looks the same graphically as it has done for years, you know. One of the issues has been the contact system. You know, the physics engine just gives you terrible contact. You know, as I said before, if someone makes contact with your right front end plate, you get those scenarios where your left front end plate disintegrates, which is very unrealistic. The game, you know, is not really there. As well, there's only about having 120 FPS, but really on consoles, but all the different settings of PC. But there was a thing, wasn't there, about changing this as well. These are features you can get in all the cutting edge engines. I think that no. Yes, it uses single. The team knows every nut and bolt of it because it's something they created themselves. Well, they created it back in 2015, and that was 9 years ago. Are we going to be playing on a game engine that's ancient? I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm hoping that eventually EA, as you know, as Tom, my fellow YouTuber Tom Gorian says, please listen to us, EA and Codemasters. We want a new game engine. It is turning away people to other games, especially with so many good racing games out there. And even, you know, Forza Motorsport 7 looks better than F1. You know, and we've got Assetto Corsa 2 coming out this year. You know, this is going to be a big year for gaming. Next year is also going to be a big year for racing games, because we've got GTA 6 coming out. So for me, F1 is now on the back foot. It's going to, don't be surprised if the figures are down, especially the fact that F1 Manager, which if you didn't see yesterday's video, I recommend you go and check the one out. My advice to you is, if you are looking for the game of the year that isn't too expensive, get F1 Manager, because it's going to be 30 quid, and that to me is a bargain compared to F124, which is retailing at 80 quid, which to me is far too much. But yes, back to then the reveal earlier. So yes, I got very upset about the ERS on Monday, and may have made I think that you guys didn't disagree, and I'll come back to that at the end of this. But first, which starts to show the most significant upgrade to career mode, and again they keep saying this since 2016. It's utter bollocks. 2020 was the biggest update, even for driver career mode. 2020 had an update compared to 2019, even if it was just the menu was changed and the way things were integrated there. I still don't think that saying 2016 is wrong. You know, it's the biggest update since 2020 for sure, as well. As we know, you can now compete. You can now drive as one of the 20 drivers. That's their big thing for this year. To be honest, if I wanted to do that, do it anyway in Grand Prix mode already. So, and also, we've been able to do this for the past 3 or 4 years through mods. So, and the mods actually also allow you to drive as team principals, as well. The mods that I've seen on Race Department. So this is not new. So yes, they've reimagined driver career mode and introducing a single player experience that mirrors the challenges that players face in the real engine pageant. Now, notice this rolling GIF down below. The helmets. Helmet editor is something we've been crying out for years. And the helmets are just so bland in the F1 game these days. They really are. You know, you have to wait until halfway through to any half decent ones. You know, they're not there on launch. As well. But yeah, you can see the new driver stats here as well. I presume they're not final like the ones that are in F1 24 as well. Notice obviously they've rearranged these driver stats to try and make it more total as well. But yeah, you can drive as one of the My Team icons as well. So Mark Webber, Nigel Mansell. They're adding James Hunt as well and somebody else. Not that it really matters because we're all going to be playing driver career mode, and icons are only available in My Team career mode. Yes. Now, recognition. This is a huge thing for F1 24, which gives you more weight to every decision you make on and off the track. You'll be tested with specific goals, which they copied from Breaking Point, during race weekends, contract targets, which is new, and season-long specific goals. As well, these will feed into a driver recognition system, allowing it to be more meaningful and personalised standing within the paddock, which is basically a revamp of the recognition system you have with each team from F1 2018's career mode as well. Achieving the best drivers to critical winning, blah de blah de blah. As you can working with the agent, I mean, we did see some pictures in Agent, and I shall show you the secret meeting stuff in a moment from that. But yes, engage in secret contract meetings with other teams to give the opportunity to move for more competitive team. We already know about this because this was leaked last week. So yes, again, if you want to hear more F1 24 game news, potentially ahead of time, if not on the day that it comes out, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. Although I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be saying next, because the next one is only about gameplay, and then really it's going to be about F1 World, which apparently has got some big changes coming towards it as well. Again, you've got that option to start your career in F2, no F3 as we'd expect. We already knew that as well. This is the recognition stat. Notice you've got power unit specialists as well. I'm hoping that in My Team career mode it'd be nice you could hire, manage those contracts like you would do in F1 Manager, but that's not the thing. They do set you goals as well, and you got to overtake Maloney like lap 3, which is exactly like F1 Manager. You've got contract performance as well, so if you're underperforming as well, and you've also got when it comes around again, you've got this percentage which basically says how you're doing against your teammate. Obviously depends on your teammate that you have as well, and then obviously you have got perks as well. Now, research and development, to be honest, this needed a bit of an overhaul, and it's not that great. They have made some changes for the better. For example, who in their right mind would spread your resource points for a slower, more balanced development? We don't have the cost cap, so we don't need to worry about that. We can just go through and fly through, and I'm hoping that the really thing. Now, you will encounter new challenges through season modifiers. Now, from the gameplay bit, which I'm going to introduce in a moment, it sounded like you had to select one rather than these happening to you randomly. Yes, I think that this would be good, but yes, I shall find that screenshot for you now. Actual fact, I wanted to play this bit of clip first. It's from the trailer. It's got Natalie Pinkham, Nancy Davison doing a silly season. So let's listen in.
Hello and welcome back, and as you can see, the paddock is a hive of activity behind us. More action though going on behind closed doors, because Anthony Davison, we are in the middle of silly season.
So this is the R&D, and I'm going to be highly critical at this moment in time. This is a huge problem. I'm hoping that my mouse is on screen. So I've said before that each and every team should have development potential. Every team should have the same potential. Otherwise, what happens is as you go deeper into your career modes, the top teams who have a bigger potential always come out on top. There's no chance for Haas to be the fastest car on the grid once they reach season 10. It is very disappointing as well, and it's even worse. Look at the gap between the potential performance of Haas and the current performance. That is massive. That's like half of this quarter circle. That is a huge big difference as well. Also, how unrealistic is this ordering at the moment? This vehicle performance comparison, oh dear. Haas is the slowest team on the grid, followed by Racing Point. I don't think so. You know, Mercedes faster than Aston Martin and McLaren. Yes. One thing, notice your teammate. Watch your teammate. I've said this is an idea that I've had for years, and your teammate is going to be purchasing upgrades for himself in driver career mode. I don't know what's going to happen in my team career mode, should you wish to continue to play that, but yeah, that is with, as I say, very frustrating. As I say, you've got bank total, it's just resource points really, as well. I also notice the morale of the team, that is sort of being brought back from previous games. Again, other than that, it looks the same as last year, and there doesn't seem to be really anything doing there. No R&D tree like we wanted. Yes, it's very disappointing with R&D. I think they could have done a lot better with it. Now, accolades. Accolades are brand new to F1 24. These are milestones for you to complete, and obviously if you're racing like I think a lot of us will be as yourselves, then you'll be able to do. They have introduced some new cutscenes for this, which, you know, to be fair, has been long overdue cutscenes. I don't know if this is the person there in this little meeting here. I presume this is our agent sat next to us. I'm hoping she's got some voice lines and some cutscenes, because I'd really like to see that happen as well. Yes, but obviously you've got season-long goals to show how good you are. You saw that contract one up here, your contract level. I think it was somewhere out there. It's not that one. It's this screenshot. Excuse me. In the recognition one. So there, as I say, when experience around, it's this performance bit, how you're performing. That's the screenshot. You know, if you're underperforming, then you know they obviously might be looking for another team. Now obviously you can play as the real life teams, and there'll be their goals associated with them, and you build on their accolades presumably from the start of the season. I'm not including anything this season, but you can see their race wins, etc, etc. And obviously they've got the My Team icon stats as well. Yes, to be honest, although this is linked to recognition, which is good, it'd be nice if you could unlock some things. So, you know, like a Pacific helmet or Pacific decal to doing a helmet editor. That would be so good to see. Nice to see, but nothing there. 2-player career mode has all of this as well. It's basically copied and pasted from driver career mode as well. Challenge career as well. This is a new thing where basically it's like F1 World but in career mode, where you basically have single events, and you have to you get a score basically, as well. And yeah, that is pretty much the end of this. I'm going to show you a few more features from the video that aren't on this release. So obviously this is the recognition stat as well. Notice perks are here as well, and you get these when you get your percentage recognition, and I presumably, obviously it depends there. You can see rating and focus, and as I said, as I revealed last week, you do get your own driver rating if you are making your own player. Now, R&D scenarios, this is what I was talking about. Like, you get to choose what thing. Now, I do understand that some players will not want this to happen as R&D scenarios, but yes, 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 I do think that these should be. This is not the right way. The player picking a scenario to do is just not the right one for me, personally speaking. And I'd love this to. This should be an option for some of these to be built in. For example, high inflation. The budget cap would be something that is been well overdue in the F1 game. It's already in F1 Manager. It's overdue. It needs to be in the F1 game. And then obviously in driver career mode, there needs to be some input from the team. All they've done is added input from your teammates. So regardless, I don't really see. I mean, you can. Yes, this is some nice challenges, but at the end of the day, you know, endless resources, balancing out the field. A lot of these scenarios don't really belong in a career mode. They should be, that the scenario should be sprung across you randomly, should you want them. And again, there should be, like there is an R&D, a driver transfers option. You can toggle. You should be able to toggle those on and off. But these should be random. They should not be the player selecting these. We also have the accolade, a bit more the accolades. As you can see, race starts, tier 1, and you get to enhance your stats with it. So yes, the more you do this, podium finishes, championship points, and then championship top 5 as well. Obviously, you upgrade this, and these upgrade your stats. So I think this is. Was there something? I think there was something like this related in FIFA, not FIFA, FC 24 player career mode. There was something similar to performances as well, where you get to choose your path. Yes, completing this accolade will enhance your awareness. But I like the fact that you're not choosing the stats. You know, it's choosing right. You are. This, I presume, race starts will increase your experience. Top 10 awareness. It'd be nice if they had I don't know, like out qualify your teammate, to teammate head to head as a qualifying stat as well, and that'd increase your pace stat, but that is not there as well. And you can see your driver ratings comparison, rivals as well. I've spoken about rivals already as well. So yeah, if there's stuff that I'm not mentioned because I've already mentioned it before, again, go and check out the previous videos. But yes, and I'm going to end it on this screenshot, and then I'm going to talk about handling from F122 to F123. So yes, you got this little screenshot. I presume this person is the new Emma. Again, a nice little talking about as well, meeting with Aston Martin as well, and then you got continue talks to unlock future meetings as well. I'm hoping they're going to make you a contract offer, which would be nice. Again, that's something from 2017, but this is good. Whether or not this then comes out in some media stuff, like we saw, I played you that clip earlier with Natalie Pinkham and Anthony Davidson, whether or not that says, well, for example, Phoenix is moving to McLaren, or Phoenix is moving to Ferrari, we've got rumours about that, etc, etc, and then you might get asked a question about that in an interview as well, whether or not your agent's present, because they're not really present in career mode, but obviously they have a team representative there to record what you say as well. But yes, this new performance, they give you their performance, and you can see where the current drivers are as well. It'd be nice to see the R&D performance and see in-depth standards rather than just where the drivers are as well. But yes, quickly, because I've gone on for a little bit too long, and I apologise as well, but I thought, I'd get my full feelings about this. That is pretty much the end of this driver career mode deep dive as well. There was one thing that Josh did mention, the fact they've been building this since F122. And I think they've been building this a little bit longer, because we first saw board meeting and stuff like this since F1 2019, and they've just expanded on this really since F1 since then with the Breaking Point, and obviously they're bringing some of these assets across now. It's not there yet with career mode. They've made some good changes, but I don't think it's enough, not compared to the changes we're seeing with F1 Manager 24, because that game is putting out a lot of changes and is improving quite a lot, and yet is a lot cheaper. That is something to think about. Yes, let me know what you think in the comments below, but a lot of you disagreed about my comment about the similar handling, I think I said, between F122 and F123, and that is what I feel. High speed corners were okay in F124 and F122, and they have been improved in F123. But I still think there are traits that with the car's handling, and to extent which includes braking and traction out of corners, that are similar to F122's. Low speed corners feel rubbish, especially at some tracks. The AI still have some super duper traction in some corners. Try and out traction an AI driver out of that corner at Singapore. Now I think it has been tweaked behind the scenes very quietly, but it is some corners the AI are still very OP traction wise compared to the player. They're also, I will admit, compared with F122, I have been able to play at a higher AI rating than F123. So whether that is the difference, but for me, I personally don't think there's been a big difference. Maybe I'm using the wrong setups, I don't know. But yes, please feel free to continue that discussion in the comments below as well. That's just my personal opinion from playing driver career mode extensively over the past 2 years as well, especially the Baku episode of F123. That was the nightmare episode, and I haven't raced at Baku since that episode, and I've been boycotting it because that track for me was undrivable. But a lot of that was due to the brake assist and how the car just kept stepping out on the rear end through low speed corners, and I had that feeling on F122 as well. So this is the problem when you have the same game engine year on year. There's always going to be some little traits that are copied over, especially with Codemasters, and I said before, they like to copy and paste their games over. This is something that they like to do. Yes, I've rambled on along. If you have stayed to the end, then thank you for listening and watching. Let me know, as I said, overall what you think to the F1 game. Let me know what you think to the engine not being upgraded for the foreseeable future in the comments below. If you are new around here though, please do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.